let's go over all the stuff I bought first. Just as, you know, my experience using it and that. If you check in my Twitch description, the panels, you see the convoluted mess that I'm using right now. But that's only for right now. I'm going to change that if this all works. So let's begin. The Ugreen 2-port HDMI switch, which I had to use for capturing from my retro computers. I had to switch between a HDMI, a VGA to HDMI to audio video to HDMI. So I used this to switch between the two HDMI outputs that they had. It's not powered, just a little, you know, nothing too special there. But a 2 in and 1 out that you can switch between them. And it worked well. Again, also not being paid for any of this, obviously. You would need viewers for that. And get back in the damn box. So yeah, for the setup below, you know, I had the VGA going into a duplicator that I was able to send to a VGA to HDMI, and then the other one to a audio video to, was it to HDMI or was there another step? Oh no, yeah, sorry, a VGA to audio video, and then the audio video to a audio video to HDMI. Yeah. And then that going into this switcher, which I can then send into the capture card. And that was the only way that I could capture the signals that were not standard resolutions or hertz. And that is what I'm hoping that the new Magewell capture card will fix. And yeah, this is the duplicator, a D-Tech. It worked very well. For something like this, you always want to get a powered one. And yeah, it's just, you know, 1 in and 2 out to double the signal. Again, that was used to just try and capture VGA from my old systems. I'll get into more why I had to do this later. Just want to go through the products for now. And this is something that did not work at all. A eSmart. Not VGA. A HDMI switcher. I wanted just one HDMI signal going into my streaming system. So I wanted to use this to make that a lot more easier. It's got a few in the back there. But it did not work at all. I couldn't capture anything, so I'm not sure if it just might actually be defective. But I was too frustrated at the time to bother doing a return or anything. Or maybe it does work, but it just wouldn't work with the capture cards. I don't know. Anyway, I did not have any luck with this, so never ended up using it. And that is it for the, you know, not capture stuff, but stuff I had to use with the capture. And let me just put that over there for a second. Get all the stuff out of the way when I can. Alright. And then into the actual capture stuff now. And this is the Gena Mini AV to HDMI. And it worked fine. USB powered. So, you know, if you need to capture from NES or any other retro system, switch it to HDMI. It has a choice of 720p to 1080p. For that, it worked fine, and it was captured by the other capture card I was using previously. Alright, and this Porta video converter. It's the component to HDMI. Now this actually worked very well. I used it to capture from my PSP system, and it worked just fine. The video that it came out was slightly you know, uncentered, but that's very easy to fix in OBS and that. So if you do need to capture from a PSP or anything that uses a component, you know, with audio video, this will send the signal nicely through the HDMI, and it worked well with you know, most capture cards. Alright, this is where we start running into why I went through all the trouble and all the stuff I've bought over the past year to try and capture retro systems. This is the Ghana. Yeah, I forget what model this is, but I don't have the bag anymore, sorry. It's a VGA capture to HDMI. You have the HDMI out over there, and this was just a bunch of other cables for it. The power and the HDMI cable. Here you have the VGA output with the audio capture that you just plug directly into the sound card. Now this works for standard resolutions, but the thing is with those old systems there and old games, they don't always send signals out in these in the standard resolutions, which is where I had the problems where a game would go into a menu and I would lose my signal, and then, you know, I could not do anything or see anything or progress anywhere because, like, well, I couldn't see anything. Alright, that's it for the bag of bagless capture devices. The next one is the Gena VGA to HDMI. This has the same problem as a lot of these things I'm going to go through. But out of all the capture devices, if you only need to capture regular signals, you know, the 640 by 480 or 800 by 600 or 1024 by whatever, I forget the other one, the next one up. This gave the best quality out of all of them. So if you're just capturing regular signals and this is all you need, it's cheap too. I forget how much, but 15 bucks or something Canadian, I think. So I would suggest this. You know, like I said, for the Elgato and other cards, it'll accept the standard signals that this can capture. So I do recommend if that's all you need. The picture from it is crystal clear. Just you can check out my on the YouTube my streams for Motorhead. That's the one I played a while ago, and the image that comes from this is really nice. But again, it only captures very standard resolutions and hertz and that. Alright, this was the next one I tried. Neotech. Okay, it's audio video to HDMI. Okay, I tried this one. Yeah, that's the box. So yeah, the Neotech AV to HDMI. This is another one I tried to use to capture those non-standard signals. And it does work, but the image quality just is, you know, not up to it. Has a nice metal case though, if that's important. You know, same problem with the other one where anything not standard, you would lose the image on your streaming. This is a VGA to HDMI, a Vela box, big box, for a tiny little device. And just another VGA to HDMI converter. Again, I mean, it worked besides the, you know, only for the standard signals, but the image quality on the Gena one was much better. So I would suggest that one if that's all you need. And next we have a Seawall. Big old box for their tiny little things. This one, oh yeah, the TV Deck Mini. This is the one that I used in that setup I have below, where I had to switch between the VGA to HDMI and the AV to VGA to HDMI. I mean, the signal still wasn't all that great, you know, not really good at all, but it captured the non-standard signals. But again, I want a nice clear picture, so I want to hopefully stop using this. And giant box for a little thing. Alright, and then another one. Well, which one was this? Their box are not very descriptive. Oh yeah. This is an upscaler that I bought. Okay, so the Echo HDMI to HDMI upscaler. I mean, it's another thing that does the job with very standard resolutions. What I was using this for is to try and capture the RetroTink 2X that I have. I was trying to capture my retro system with it, because the Elgato and other capture cards would not accept the non-standard, I think, 240p resolution that it puts out. So I tried to upscale it, but it was, I remember just having a lot of trouble not being able to capture properly with it. So I stopped using the RetroTink and just used the I believe the Gena audio video to HDMI capture. That was a no-go also. And this is the Moray. There we go, it's backwards, but that's okay. Another VGA to HDMI capture. Again, same thing as all the rest of them. It captured the standard resolutions, but whenever I went into a game menu or DOS or something, you know, it just lost the signal. So, no luck with that either. And that's out of the way. Give me a moment to move this over there. Too many boxes. Okay, so now moving on to former capture devices that I used to use. This is what the very first thing that I started streaming with. The AverMedia Live Gamer Portable 2 Plus. You know, this is what I chose to start streaming with because it was on special. And, you know, for 720p and 1080p resolutions, it worked fine. But again, like everything else, the second I tried to capture those retro non-standard resolutions, it just wouldn't capture it. So, you know, if you're just capturing a PS3 or 360 or above, this will do fine. And then the next thing I tried, expensive little thing, the StarTech. Which model was this? The PEX HDCAP60L. This did work for capturing non-standard resolutions. Okay, so yeah, this is a internal capture card that I remember capturing the non-standard resolutions on that, but I had so much trouble with the drivers for this. Crashes and freezes, and then the Windows, what was it, 1908, I think, update, the last big update came, and I couldn't run my computer anymore. With this card inside, after that update, my CPU would constantly run at a 100% all the time, even when doing nothing. So yeah, this card did work until that Windows update, and even when it was working, it wasn't working that well, which is sad because it cost a few bucks. You know, StarTech, they do a lot of very useful products, and especially in regards to retro stuff. But I mean, they have so much stuff. I guess they just can't, you know, concentrate enough on one, and there is not enough driver updates for this. You know, maybe there's been an update since then, and it might be working now, but I don't know. I couldn't use my computer with this inside, so unfortunately, that's staying out of the computer for now. And then the one that most people know, the Elgato HD 60 Pro, the internal capture card. This is one that worked fine for everything except standard non-standard resolutions and, you know, hertz and refresh rates and all that. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, or anyway. I went with the internal one because I wanted the lower lag of the card. But apparently, like the RetroTink will work with the USB version of this, which is, you know, what some other streamers use to capture their NES and all of that. But I just wanted the internal, and unfortunately it did not work, so I am no longer using this card. Or, I mean, I might end up going back to it. We're going to see how the tests go with the Magewell today. And also, one thing that I wasn't able to get, there's a Seawell VGA to HDMI converter that apparently, you know, there's some streamers I watch and it captures everything. And that worked with the internal Elgato card to capture all the non-standard resolutions and that, but I was not able to find one on eBay, on their site, or anything. They say that they sell, they have 6 open box ones or something. I tried to order one, but then they canceled my order on me, so apparently it's not available, and I couldn't find any on eBay or anything. So unfortunately, the Elgato didn't work out for the retro PC capture. Right. And that is it for my capture the device stuff. 1 second while I put this aside. For all the testing with the Magewell, the devices I want to go through, there's the component, the red, blue, and green, which I'm just going to use my PSP quickly for because I can't capture audio at the moment. I need an adapter for that. Then there's HDMI for my main system, and then for my XP system, I want to make sure those work. For the HDMI consoles and that, I'll see if I can finally get the streaming Why Not Chronicles again tomorrow. But you know, if the HDMI works with the other two, it should be fine with that too. Although I won't be able to test sound coming in with the HDMI with those two. So anyway. And after that, yeah, then there's the RetroTink. So that'll be all the local HDMI stuff right over here. And then after that, it's the Rio testing, the VGA testing. My 2 VGA retro computers I want to test out, and that is the main reason why, you know, I wanted to test this card, and, you know, saving the best for last. So I guess let's get started with that. Ah, there, connected display settings. Yeah, switch video output. Oh, there we go. I did not have to change anything in the Magewell settings. With the Elgato, I had to switch between resolutions to make it show the video input again. But this just switched right to it automatically. That is a nice sign, a nice way to start this off. Just about a 16:9 resolution too. Seems to be a few pixels off, but there we go. I don't need that obscure anymore. There we go. Alright. So yeah, I can't really play a game now because there's no sound. I mean, I could play a game without sound, but I don't really want to. But yeah. And that is a full screen capture of everything. And it switched to it automatically. So the RGB is working very nicely there. Alright, that is test 1 complete. That's one up for the Magewell. So I guess next we'll test my main streaming system. Alright, now we can get going. Yeah, I had it set on the wrong thing. Alright, so this is finally working. The options should be fine now. Oh yeah, where's the HUD stuff? Okay, I do have all the stuff on the side there, so I think I'm good. Okay, I have not played this game on PC in a very, very long time. Oh yeah, these guys shoot. I am not used to the movement and shooting at all. Don't walk into the fire. Oh. It'd be nice if I could get those bombs, but I can't. I think my mic is really picking up the keystrokes. Hope that's not too annoying. Mechanical keyboards and all that. Ah, no! Spikes. Why? Oh man, that was an interesting run too. Okay, well anyway. I finally got capture from my main system there working, so that's good. Alright. Let's just turn that off. So next is the Windows XP system. Oh, capture in DOS right away. Well, not DOS, but actually that's post capture. That is really nice. Look at that. Yeah, it's instantly capturing post. I'm gonna have to edit this video from hell and to hell and back though to make it a nice YouTube video. But yeah, instant post capture and boot capture. See, it switched. It lost signal for a second, but the Magewell just kept right up with it, and we got sound. I missed that Windows XP boot sound. Are we there for now? And that was, yeah, that mouse. So this mouse can go over here. So now it is in the wrong resolution. So for HDMI, it does not capture the 4:3 resolution automatically. That's a little sad, but it's still capturing. No, that is the wrong keyboard. 1024 by 768. Alrighty, there we go. That is fitting perfectly. Okay. So we had sound, and now the capture is fine. I mean, I captured posts and everything, that's real fine. I do have a game to install on here though. Yeah, I got the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 collection on physical disc for like $5. That was a nice get. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we got captured just fine. How's the image quality? I mean, looks alright, I guess. I never tell it's my eyes going or the screen. That Magewell in and out. From the good old days. Oops. See, that is where I would have to switch back and forth between resolutions in the Elgato to get the image back. But the Magewell just captures it again. That is really nice. And there we go, that Magewell just keeps on capturing. But so far, for HDMI and component, Magewell works great. That's not the real interesting stuff though, it's the VGA capture that's going to be the real interesting stuff, so I guess it'll be part 2 tomorrow. Alright. So, Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 installed and ready to go. Hello and welcome back to the Magewell test stream. And as it says, we'll be testing the RetroTink, which there's obviously a nice result you can already see right there. It is picking up fine. So this is running the RetroTink X2. Not that new Pro version they have. I bought this a while ago. Oh yeah, I should check if that smoothing and whatever is on. Yeah, RetroTink with smoothing on or off. I don't really know much about this. That seems to be off. And that's on. It does kind of look nice with smoothing on, actually. I don't know, give it a try. So, again, this is the RetroTink directly into the Magewell. And it's on, what do you call it? The resolution type is default device right here. So it's picking up the 4:3 resolution, the 240p I think. Yeah, so it's picking up the 4:3 resolution directly from the RetroTink into the Magewell. And that is something the Elgato cannot do. You know, you plug in anything besides a standard 720p or 1080p into that Elgato and it just freaks out, loses signal. Yeah, so this is a direct capture of the RetroTink. And by the way, you can see in the camera behind me I have my CRT there, and that's normally where I play all my retro consoles. But I am watching it on my LCD screen right now, and there is no freaking lag at all. So, I mean, I'm playing on the Magewell, my Genesis, directly on my LCD screen, and it's so nice. There is no lag at all, because apparently the whoa, I forgot about these two. It has like half the lag of the internal Elgato, the HD60 Pro, the one that I used to use. Anyway, the Magewell works amazingly with the RetroTink. I could not get this to work good at all with the Elgato. So I think that'll be it for this test though. So just the VGA test to go. Give me a moment here while I turn all that off. Alright. So we are on the Pentium 166 system. Now something I noticed when booting my XP system is that in the HDMI it caught the post and everything. So let's see how nice that is again. Although I am on direct VGA capture right now. And here we go. Powering up. Oh, look at that. My SIS 4 megabyte video card. And look at that. We are getting post. This is something else that I could not get with the Elgato. And you notice whenever the Magewell loses signal, it just goes right back to getting signal once it's there again. Something else that the Elgato could not do. I would have to switch between resolutions to get the signal back in OBS. And the Magewell was just working. I don't know why the text was pink there for a second, but that's alright. I got some games over here I picked up that I need to install. So I'm going to be installing a few games on this system. And after this one, I'm going to be testing my P3 500 megahertz with a Ravia TNT. I mean, for the res switching awful, I actually think it's wonderful because it's actually happening. With the Elgato, you know, it just lost the signal and could not get it back on its own whenever the resolution switched. I mean, I went through several capture cards and that Aver Media thing. And for standard, you know, resolutions, well, I mean, for 720p and 1080p, they work fine. But for anything else, you know, the second something changes, they just lose signal. And it's a pain in the ass to get back. That's why the fact that this does resolution switching, when it, you know, when you lose resolution or it changes between them and changes the hertz and all that, it just picks up the signal right away. And you don't have to do anything to get it back on OBS either. And that is, so far, the one thing that makes the Magewell win over all the other capture right now. Or, you know, retro capture anyway. Oh, you are not a auto start disc? See, this is something the Elgato could not capture. And the Magewell is directly capturing it straight from VGA. And on the default resolution setting. So it is, you know, naturally capturing the 4:3 aspect ratio. Don't need a boot disk right now, that's alright. And there we go, out from DOS, back to the desktop in a blink of an eye, and it still has the signal. So far, this is very much worth the money. Maybe we didn't get a test. Oh, there we go. And you saw how the Magewell, you know, switched really quickly when it lost signal and gained signal and back again a whole bunch of times there. Yeah, and I heard sound too, so that's alright. Okay, now set up joystick and all that later. Oh, there we go. I was worried there for a second. Again with the Magenta or whatever you call it text. But we are getting post. So after this is installed, we'll play Motorhead. That is the thing that gave me the most trouble because of those menus. The Elgato would always lose signal. and the standard VGA to HDMI could not capture the menu at all. I had to use a VGA to AV and then put that to another adapter, AV to HDMI, and that would capture the non-standard signals, but it was really bad quality. So let's see if it even picks up the intro video. Oh, here we go. Elgato could not pick up this video. And it looked a lot worse too when I was able to capture it. Is there going to be big artifacting like I had before? Sound is low. There are no artifacts. Not the most high resolution video, but this is from 1996 or no, 98. And look at that. I don't know what the resolution or hertz are, but this is not something Elgato could pick up, or all the little adapters either. This is actually working. All the money for this bloody card might actually be worth it. So this is the first stream you have I've ever been able to show that video properly. And look at that, it's picking up the menu and at a proper resolution and it looked so horrible before when I had to capture it through that convoluted through the way I used to capture it. Look at this. It's clear, it's capturing. Oh my god. Let's just do a quick race for now, I guess. Oh, Neo City, apparently. I thought I would be able to choose what race I'm doing, but apparently not. But this is fine. I like this course. I have not played this game in a very long time. I was streaming this twice a week before. I didn't even get to choose my car? What car am I? Oh well. Who cares? The sound is still... Oh, I forgot about this part. Damn it. And goodbye, everybody. And see, the actual race I was able to pick up. But like I said, I could not get the menus. And the fact that it picked up that, you know, that video either. Oh. And the menu. I no longer need all of those wires on my desk. Whoa. So I can now play this game without having to switch through all that mess of wires anymore. I can finally just capture whatever I need. It looks like with VGA. My RetroTink that I bought that I couldn't use before, I can now use. Alright. Oh no, this is on default resolution. Yeah, I forgot about that. So this should be an 800 by 600 then. Alright, so yeah, this screen I couldn't see before also. There, I did that curve a little better this time at least. Yeah, well, third. Oh well. Okay, anyway. The Magewell works amazingly. Captures everything natively. A little magenta every now and then, but that's alright. I think that'll be it for this little test stream. So thanks for watching. And so I do recommend the Magewell. Expensive, but it works. And so much better than everything else I've tried, and I've tried a whole lot of crap. So I'm gonna see if I can, you know, cut together a little YouTube video showing this off. And with a little explanation what I had before and all the trouble I went through. But that'll be it for today.